You send it on a Tuesday, sometime after 10. A blue link in the middle of a conversation that just ended. I said I'd check it out, probably meant it then, but somehow it got buried under everything again. A couple weeks went by, maybe more than that. The message stayed unopened in the middle of the chat. I heard it for the first time on a Thursday coming home, waiting for the crosswalk light, standing there alone. Funny how the right song can show up way too late, or maybe it was always right. I just missed the date. The city sounded smaller after track number 2. Even traffic felt quieter than it usually would do. I wondered if you'd still play it, or if you'd moved along, while I was just discovering what you knew all along. No big revelation, nothing changed that night. I just walked a little slower at every red light. I heard it for the first time on a Thursday coming home, waiting for the crosswalk light, standing there alone. Funny how the right song can show up way too late, or maybe it was always right. I just missed the date. Still got the message, still got the link, still got your name right above it. Funny what survives in a phone for weeks without either of us thinking about it. I heard it for the first time long after you sent it through, and somewhere in the second verse I thought a little about you. Not because I missed you, not because things changed, just because for 3 minutes we were listening to the same thing. A blue link in a message, a song I almost missed. That's all it really was, but somehow it stayed with me. Found it while looking for something else. 3 playlists down from the top. A name I would've picked 2 years ago, and somehow never changed. The cover photo looked familiar, the songs already did too. I pressed play without expecting much, just something to get me through. Track 1 came back immediately. Track 2 took a minute more. By track 3 I knew exactly why I'd saved it in the first place before. Still safe, still right here, under all the newer things that filled the space this year. Still safe, somehow untouched. Funny how a list of songs can hold on to that much. A band I haven't thought about since that apartment with the blue door. A song that used to play on buses back when I took them more. Nothing sounded different, the words were all the same, but I kept remembering versions of me that answered to another name. Not better and not worse, just further down the line, looking at old decisions from the other side of time. Still safe, still right here, under all the newer things that filled almost deleted it last month while clearing out my phone. One more thing I didn't need, or so I thought back then. Now I'm sitting in my kitchen, listening from start to end. Glad I left it where it was, glad I didn't press it then. Still saved, still playing like it never really left, just waiting. Still safe after all this time. Some things don't stay important, they just stay close by. Three playlists down, same old name, same old songs, still safe. The bookshelf's half empty now. A couple frames are off the wall. There's a charger by the window that doesn't reach much anymore. The kitchen sounds a little louder with fewer things around. Every box that's taped shut changes how the room sounds. Still sleeping in the same bed, still using the same key. But every day there's a little less of what this place used to be. Boxes by the hallway, boxes by the door. Things I haven't thought about in years and years before. Nothing really happened, nothing came apart. Just putting everything I own into smaller parts. Found a receipt from last September, folded in a jacket sleeve. A grocery list with 2 crossed out lines for things I didn't need. The neighbors still walk past the same way every day. The view outside the living room hasn't changed at all this week. It's strange how leaving happens long before you go. You notice it in little things nobody else would know. Boxes by the hallway, boxes by the door. Things I haven't thought about in years and years before. Nothing really happened, nothing came apart. Just putting everything I own into smaller parts. One drawer left, one shelf left, a few more things to take. The apartment feels unfamiliar before I've even gone away. Boxes by the hallway, boxes by the door. Tomorrow they'll be somewhere else like they were before. No dramatic ending, no final scene tonight. Just another place becoming part of another life. The walls are still here, the lights still work. My name's still on the lease, but not for long. Saw you near the bakery, walking with a paper cup. Didn't think much of it then, just another person out. A few blocks later by the station, waiting for the light to change. I looked up and there you were, doing almost the same thing. Funny how a place feels different after something small like that. Nothing happened, still somehow it stayed in the back of my head. Again, For the first time this whole month, I felt less like a guest again. Nothing more than that, just a face I didn't know, in a place that's starting not to feel so new. The grocery store on the corner, the pharmacy across the street, the woman with the golden retriever I've seen 3 times this week. Names I still don't recognize, roads I sometimes mix around, but every day a few more things start looking familiar now. I still check directions sometimes, still take the longer route, but it doesn't feel as temporary as it used to. Again, there you were again, and for the first time this whole month, I felt less like a guest again. Nothing more than that, just a face I didn't know, in a place that's starting not to feel so new. Maybe that's how it happens, not all at once, not a big realization, not some perfect moment, just little things repeating until one day you notice you've stopped paying attention to how unfamiliar everything is. Begin. There you were again, standing outside the station, like you'd always been there. Again, a completely ordinary day, becoming one I'll probably remember for no real reason. The bakery